Titration is one of the key laboratory techniques that you're supposed to understand in chemistry. Now, what is titration? In simple terms, you're trying to determine this concentration of what you don't know using the concentration of what you know. That is in simple terms. So what do we mean? That quantitative chemical analysis that is used to determine the concentration of an unknown solution. An unknown solution, it has a name. An unknown solution. You are reacting it with a solution that you know, a known solution. Okay? Now, you are trying to find this by reacting with what you know. That is what we're calling titration. So now, this an unknown solution is called an analyte. Then, the one that you know is called a titrant. Okay? So, basically this. Once you know this, at least these are some of the basics. However, what are the types of titrations? So it will be based on what you're doing. Mostly the common one that you are going to do in the lab is the acid-base titration. Now, for this one, you are literally reacting an acid with a base. So let's say this is an acid plus a base. Then when you react an acid with a base, you know you're getting a salt and water. So basically that. Then another type of titration that you can also talk about is what we call a redox titration. Now redox, we're just talking about this one is going to be involving the transfer of electrons between an analyte and a titrant. So basically it's a reduction oxidation reaction. Okay, so we usually use this abbreviation RIG-O. So RIG to mean reduction is gain of electrons, or to means oxidation is loss of electrons. So one loses, one gains electrons. So in that case, if you know one of the reactants, you know the concentration of one of the reactants and you don't know the other one, that would be titration. Okay, and then another form, or let's say another type of titration, is what we call precipitation titration. So this one usually just involves the formation of a precipitate when the analyte reacts with the titrant. So in the formation of let's say as the reaction is going, in the process a precipitate is formed. Let's say some solid of some kind is formed in the process. That would be precipitation titration. However, what are some of the the equipments that you're going to use when you're doing titration? So number one, you're going to use a burette. So we're also going to talk about the procedure, how you do it. You're going to also use equipments like the pipette, also a conical flask, you can also use some indicators. Okay, so we're going to also look at what are the uses of indicators. So the burette in this case this is just a graduated glass tube that is usually used to measure the volume of the titrant. So I want you to notice the volume of the titrant. You're using a burette. But if you are trying to find the volume of the analyte, mind you, we know the concentration of the titrant, that's why it's called the titrant. But if you don't know the concentration of what we're finding, the volume of that, we're talking about the volume of the analyte. Okay, it's an unknown solution. So basically, for an unknown one, you're using a pipette. For the one that you know, you're using a burette. Then on the other hand, a conical flask is just going to be used as a container, so it's going to hold the analyte, because it's the analyte that you're using to you're trying to find out. So this one holds the analyte, or let's just say it's a container for the analyte. Then indicators, these are just substances that changes the color when the reaction is complete. Okay, they're just going to indicate that now the reaction is complete, as you are going to be doing that. But now, what is the procedure that is involved when you're titrating? Number one, preparation. So here you prepare the analyte and the titrant solution. So the analyte and the titrant solutions, you prepare them nicely. Number two, you measure now. So you have to measure the volume of the analyte. So the analyte, you said, if you're measuring the volume of the analyte, you're going to be using a pipette. Then number three, in simple terms, you can just go direct. You are going to now do titration itself. So in titration now, you will be slowly adding the titrant. The titrant is what you know, it's coming from the burette. So the titrant slowly added. What are we adding? The titrant. It's from the burette, like we said. Okay, you are slowly adding the titrant to the analyte. So to the analyte, while you are stirring until the reaction is complete. So the way you're going to see that the reaction is complete, it is going to be indicated by a color change. Once the color changes, then it means now your reaction is complete. The last step that you just do, you just have to record your results. Okay, so recording. So you record the volume of the titrant used. Okay, how much has been used of what is in the burette, which we are calling the titrant. That is the volume. Okay, now what are the calculations that are going to be involved? So number one, you are going to talk about the concentration, okay, and also the equivalence point. So what are these calculations? So the concentration, in this case, you're going to calculate the concentration of the analyte using the volume and the concentration of the titrant. Okay, so you've recorded the volume of the titrant that you've used, okay, in the previous procedures that we're talking about. Now, how you're going to now calculate the concentration of the analyte, because it's the analyte that you're trying to find. So you can only find that using the volume that you found that has been used up in the reaction, the volume of the using the volume and the concentration of the titrant. Okay, so in this case you're concentrating on the concentration, you're talking about the volume and the concentration of the titrant. Basically that's how you're going to find the calculation. So we're going to do calculations on titration in subsequent videos that are going to follow. Then equivalence on the other side, this is at the point at which the reaction is complete. It's going to be indicated by a color. So as you are shaking, as you are stirring, at that point when you are going to notice a color change or a complete, there's a change in color, that is what we are calling the equivalency point. So basically that how we apply titration is mostly used in pharmaceuticals. Okay, okay, to determine the concentration of active ingredients in mostly pharmaceuticals. Okay, sometimes you can also use to just monitor water and air quality. Basically that in the food industry, mostly titration is going to be used to determine usually also the acidity of foods. So basically it's one of the key concepts that we can't ignore in chemistry. So basically these are just the basics about titration.